Halifax consistently ranks as one of the top cities in Canada for two things: quality of life and affordability. But here's what those headlines won't tell you. Some of Halifax's most prestigious addresses are hiding some quite serious problems. So for instance, would you believe that one luxury area is growing so fast as a shortage of homes, or that another's neighbourhoods is 15-minute commute can regularly turn into a 45-minute nightmare? One thing is for certain folks, not all Halifax suburbs are created equal. So today, I am going to break down Halifax's best and worst suburbs ranked in 5 tiers, from hidden gems to spots that you might want to think twice about. In order to rank these suburbs, we've got to set up a few guidelines here. So let me explain the criteria we're going to use to rank the areas. I tend to find that most of my clients are either going to prioritize space and privacy when looking for a home, or the access to city amenities. I've lived in the area for over 18 years now, and personally, my family and I value that space and the privacy over being close to the city centre. So I'm going to be ranking those more rural suburbs as best today. But you might have a completely different preference, so stick around, because something that you're going to find at the bottom of my list could well be at the top of yours. Let's dive in. Right, let's start with tier 5, and we're going to call this the squeeze. So Dartmouth, kicking things off in our lowest tier. I'm going to call this one the squeeze, and you're going to see why. Let's talk about the good things in Dartmouth before we get into some of the drawbacks. Okay, reasons to live in Dartmouth: location and accessibility. Quick access to Halifax, the airport, and major employment hubs. We have the ferry commute option, which is scenic, reliable alternative to driving to Halifax, often saving you both the time and stress. Booming local economy, because Dartmouth Crossing as well as Burnside Industrial Park are continuing to expand and are adding the jobs. And many of those same city amenities that Halifax scenic waterfront and the outdoor lifestyle, 23 kilometres of trails, 3 swimmable lakes, easy access to parks and green spaces. Pretty sweet. Now we'll talk about a small business scene. We have independent shops, cafes, restaurants, breweries are all starting to grow, especially in downtown Dartmouth. And then we get festivals, markets, and a really kind of trendy growing art scene that bring people together. We also have a very diverse housing options. Single family homes, townhouses, waterfront properties, and condos are all there to suit all of the different budgets. And with the home values appreciating, it's making it a very solid investment, as well as we have major projects like Shannon Park, which is transforming the area. Now let's look at the challenges of living in Dartmouth. Well, guess what? Just like it's a good thing to have the traffic and the bridge tolls, commuting to Halifax does need those tolls and can be congested during rush hour. Your 15-minute commute can more than triple at peak times, so do plan accordingly. Whilst the improving transit is getting there, it's really not as extensive as the larger cities within Canada. You're also really close to amenities here, but they're all pretty close. Now, when you get into the lifestyle and the shopping and everything is really close by, but again, we're not a major city, so we have a limited amount of some of those really high-end stores. Now, this is a very urban area of the HRM. You're not going to find homes with big yards, and it does feel like living in the city. So you're not going to have a lot of privacy and space either between some of these small lots and the trendy urban centres. We do also have housing prices rising as well as rent as well, which is closing the gap to the Halifax area. Now, rapid development has led to challenges in the traffic, housing supply, as well as social services, and the areas that do improve, but some of the neighbours do have a little bit of a reputation that people are not overly impressed with. So, sum it all up, Dartmouth is for you if you want to be in a trendy, up-and-coming neighbourhood with city's amenities, but let's be honest, space is not the selling point here. You can get so much more for your money in other areas if space is important to you. In just a few minutes, I'm going to share an area that has a good balance of amenities as well as affordability. Tier 4, let's look at retail row. So moving on up our list is what we call the retail row category. This is where shopping is everywhere, but privacy is a bit scarce. Lower Sackville. Why might you love Lower Sackville? Well, location and accessibility. Less than 25 minutes to Halifax, less than 20 minutes to Dartmouth, as well as easy highway access via the 102 for commuting to central location, as well as any major job hubs that are without the downtown home prices. There is a very strong retail presence in Sackville Drive, also known as Sack Vegas Drive, which has got Sobeys, Superstore, Canadian Tire, Giant Tiger, as well as Dollarama. Now, outdoor recreation options include first and second lake for swimming, kayaking, as well as hiking around the lake. Plenty of sports and fitness facilities, including baseball fields, tennis courts, swimming pool, and of course, Sackville Sports Stadium, which is giving you a family-friendly community with multiple parks, playgrounds, as well as we do have early French immersion schools. Lots of dining options there, including chain restaurants and local cafes. Lots of liquor stores, including the ones that have the cannabis. And it's one of the few suburban areas that also has a movie theatre outside Halifax and Dartmouth. The affordability about Sackville is a great thing for real estate in this area, and it tends to be a bit more affordable than both Halifax and Bedford. Going to Bedford a bit later on, but in the meantime, let's look at median home price. $430,000 versus Middle Sackville $550 versus $830 in Bedford. Bit of a difference. Lots of housing options. We have townhouses, condos, as well as single family homes and rentals. And the values there are increasing as the reputation does improve. Now, why might you think twice about Lower Sackville? Well, traffic congestion and Highway 102 and Sackville Drive during peak hours can be a bit rough. Not a lot of public transit options. There are a couple of high-speed buses, but driving is kind of a necessity. Not a lot of nightlife and entertainment options either in Lower Sackville, so all of your social activities, you're really going to Bedford or Halifax or Dartmouth. And again, some of the neighbourhoods can carry a bit of a stigma, but we're getting better there as well. Definitely going to have less privacy because the newer developments are going to be smaller lot sizes and the homes are therefore closer together. Some areas do have aging properties and infrastructure is something that might need renovation, so factor that into your costs. But I do recommend Lower Sackville to everybody who is a first-time home buyer or commuters who want the affordability as well as access to everything, but don't want to be in Bedford or Halifax. It's not a great fit if you want to live on a larger, quieter lot, or if you want a trendy atmosphere and shorter commute. Right, let's look at Tier 3. I call this Pricey and Packed, Bedford. This is our next category because you'll see what I mean when we're going to cover this area. But first, if we haven't met yet, I'm Richard Payne, your local Halifax realtor, and I've got to be honest with everybody here. Researching areas to live can take a lot of time and effort, sometimes days of your time. And that's exactly why I post videos here to help you out with everything you need to know about Halifax and all of the surrounding areas. So please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to guarantee that you're going to get a lot of market insights that frankly, you're not going to see everywhere else. Right, let's dive into Bedford. Bedford stands out as one of the more desirable suburbs in Halifax, and for this reason, it's a great option, but there's also some things that you might find are not for you. Let's look at the pros of why you might love Bedford. Number one is going to come down to that location and accessibility. We're close to Halifax and Bedford, only 18 kilometers as well as Dartmouth, and easy access to Bedford Highway, the 102, and very strong transit options because Halifax Transit connects to the rest of HRM through Bedford. And future transit plans also include a fast ferry coming from Mill Cove direct into downtown Halifax, potentially commuter rail service as well. Bedford has a very vibrant waterfront area with a scenic boardwalk, marinas, and De Wolf Park, which is the place, in my opinion, for Canada Day fireworks. We also have a big retail presence, Sunnyside Mall, Bedford Place Mall, Bedford Basin Farmers Market. It's very recreational focused as well, with lots of parks and hiking trails. Hemlock Ravine, Sackville Lakes Provincial Park, and we even have an outdoor swimming pool. There are a lot of fitness facilities in and around Bedford, including the BMO Centre with 6 ice rinks, the LeBrun Recreation Centre, and Glen Arbor Golf Course is not that far away. Now, annual community events like Bedford Days and the Light Up Bedford Parade, as well as historic charms such as the Fultz House Museum and the famous Chicken Burger Diner. Diving into real estate, we're going to see some pretty diverse housing options from high-end waterfront properties to family-friendly subdivisions. Now, this is where it comes into play because the median house price here is $830,000, reflecting Bedford's reputation as pretty much an upper middle class luxury suburb. And the other side of it, of course, is the luxury opportunities with $1 million waterfronts as well as modern developments. Parks of Bedford West is our newer upscale market homes with pretty much you can get over $1 million there quite quickly. And then we have condos as well as townhouses available, but those prices are starting to rise. Now, what might make you think twice? Well, again, we're going to come back to that kind of recurring theme here, traffic congestion, especially Bedford Highway during peak hours. And our population in Bedford, because of Parks of Bedford West, is adding pressure on the road infrastructure. And transit improvements are planned, and we're kind of getting there, but it can make commutes a little bit slower. It's also a little bit expensive compared to some of the suburbs, so it can price out the first-time home buyers. It's in a competitive market as well there, making it pretty hard to find the affordable single-family homes. This is also lending to a bit of a housing shortage as well, making it pretty difficult to buy in Bedford. Waterfront properties, absolutely at a premium, and are going to be over $1 million there. Because of that rapid growth, we have ongoing construction as well as development zones. So Bedford is going to be a good option for people who are looking for an upscale suburban lifestyle as well as decent amenities. On the other hand, if you're on a tight budget or you're looking for a quieter area without traffic, you're probably not going to fall in love with Bedford. I'm going to share some of those more budget-friendly options as well as coming up in our upcoming tiers. We've made it to tier 2, which I like to call the Almost-Acre Club. I've got 2 areas to share with you in this tier, and you're going to see that we're starting to get into some areas that really do strike a better balance between 2 things, the lot sizes as well as the amenities compared to what we've covered so far. Number 1, let's talk about Hammonds Plains. Hammonds Plains is not just a bedroom community, it does have a growing number of amenities, reducing the need for frequent trips back into Bedford or Halifax. Local grocery stores as well as a recently added pharmacy do provide those everyday necessities. NSLC is going to give you liquor as well as obviously there's a cannabis store there as well. A mix of local businesses and restaurants served through the community. Through kind of larger retail options, you're going to require a drive. Edible Matters is a popular farm-to-table little restaurant cafe there. Acadian Fish and Chips and Enzo Pizzeria, comfort food with a local twist, and Hatfield Farm, which is a family-friendly attraction with a petting zoo, horseback riding, as well as rustic lodge events. And you can get married there. Atlantic Splash Adventure is a small water park with slides and rides for kids, and that also is in Hatfield Farm during the summer as well. Glen Arbor Golf Course is a private championship course that has hosted some pretty big tournaments. Hiking and biking trails, there's multiple trail systems that are going to connect the community to the natural areas and the nearby lakes nearby. Residents really enjoy access to several of those lakes, and you're going to be able to swim, kayak, fishing. If you're big into the ice rinks and the ice hockey, then the BMO Centre is just a short drive away. Massive facility with 6 ice rinks as well as fitness programs. At the end of Hammonds Plains Road, we have St Margaret's Bay Centre in Tantallon with an Olympic-sized rink, an outdoor pool, a gym and fitness centre. Hammonds Plains is known for large lot sizes, newer subdivisions and developments, making it a fairly top choice for families who are looking for space without actually going into kind of rural Nova Scotia. House prices starting-ish 650 going up to 1.2 million or even higher depending on location and lot size. And many of these properties are over 1 acre lots, which gives you the privacy and the room for all the outdoor amenities and activities you want to do. Kingswood and Kingswood North is one of the most established and desirable areas there. Voyager Lakes, this is newer high-end homes with a much more modern design. White Hills as well as Highland Park is more secluded, wooded settings with larger trees. And there is high demand for the newer homes, with many properties featuring modern builds, energy efficient designs and high-end finishes. Property values here have been steadily increasing due to the growing demand for spacious suburban living. So what's going to make you think twice about Hammonds Plains? Well, whilst the homes are larger and more private, there are a lot fewer sidewalks and street lights, making it not very pedestrian friendly. Driveway sizes are bigger, that makes more winter maintenance and clearing the snow and the ice. Taxes are obviously going to be a little bit higher than some of the other Halifax suburbs because larger lots and more upscale developments. But Hammonds Plains is a great place for families looking for spacious homes on larger lots. You're going to get some privacy here without being isolated from a lot of the nearby amenities. On the other hand, this is not the place for buyers on a tight budget or anybody who wants to be in that walkable neighbourhood with lots of amenities right close by. Next up, we have an area that blends some of that suburban charm with the rural living, and there's a little bit of both here, so let's talk about Middle Sackville. Why are you going to love Middle Sackville? Guess what? Number 1, we're talking location and accessibility again. 32 kilometres north of downtown Halifax, Middle Sackville is close enough for commuting, but far enough for that relaxed piece of life. Highway 101 runs along the edge of the community, providing easy access to Bedford, Halifax, as well as the Annapolis Valley. Sackville Drive, also known as Trunk 1, connects the community to Lower Sackville's commercial hub that we covered earlier. Margison Drive interchange offers a quick on-ramp to Highway 101, which really does improve the traffic flow for commuters to get straight on the highway and into work. There are some transit routes, in particular going through Millwood and the Millwood Express area, as well as a new park and ride facility that is planned for Margeston Drive to help improve some of those commuting options so it's not always about the drive. 15 to 20 minutes you get to Bedford, 30 to 40 minutes we're talking downtown Halifax, 10 minutes really and you're in Lower Sackville shopping and amenities and everything you could ever want. The 101 can get a little bit backed up during peak hours, and certainly Sackville Drive has got slow moving traffic due to those commercial activity and all of the stuff that goes on for the big box stores. And there's not really any alternative routes if there's an accident on the highway. Middle Sackville is not going to have as many retail options as Lower Sackville, but you are so close that you get all the access that you need to the essentials. Local convenience stores such as G's Convenience as well as Quickway, Avery's Farm Market for fresh produce, and there is plans for a grocery store and commercial expansion in that whole interchange in the coming years. There's a lot fewer restaurants than Lower Sackville, but again, you are so close to Lower Sackville that you've got everything you need. Fry Daddy's is a local place and a favourite for fish and chip. Halisi Cafe is an independent cafe that has a really cosy atmosphere as well. Getting into the lakes, we have Sackville Lakes and Provincial Park, which is great for hiking and nature walks. McCabe Lake and Indigo Shores, great for kayaking, swimming and fishing. But let's not forget that that is a very established community and I'm not sure there's a huge amount of, shall we say, public access there. There are some planned park expansions, including a multi-use recreational area as well as playgrounds. You're close to Glen Arbor Golf Course, so if you like to swing those clubs and hit the balls, that's close by. Middle Sackville does have strong public school options. Millwood Elementary, Sackville Heights Elementary and Junior High, as well as Millwood High School. Schools in this area serve around about 2,700 students, have good reputation for academics as well as extracurricular activities. In terms of future developments, there is new commercial spaces being planned. A fire station, transit terminal are planned, all for areas close to that highway. An increase in population growth is definitely leading to higher demand for these local businesses. Middle Sackville has become a top choice of families who are looking for kind of like newer homes on larger lots without the high prices that you're going to get in Bedford or Hammonds Plains. 5 months of inventory indicates a steady growth, but not an overheated market. Average home price, you're talking $790,000 just in January 2025. And we're talking really, I'd say about 450 to 600 for older homes, 600 to 9 for the mid-range, and then easily 9 to 2.6 million for the luxury homes on Indigo Shores, McCabe Lake. Talking of Indigo Shores, this is a really sought after lakefront community that's got very modern homes, both on the lakes as well as forest. Berry Hill and Sunset Ridge are growing suburban neighbourhoods with modern houses and as well as townhomes there as well. Spacious homes, definitely compared to Lower Sackville, and many of the properties are on those 1 acre lots again. Houses tend to be single family homes, a few semi-detached and definitely a few more townhouses now. New builds, we're kind of hitting 870 and up, with obviously the high-end homes easily going for over 1.5 million. And most homes are on drilled wells, septic tanks, so not fully serviced urban areas. What's going to make you think twice? Well, fewer retail and dining options than Lower Sackville, but it is really close to Lower Sackville. Congestion for traffic, obviously during peak hours, Sackville Drive Highway 101 can be a bit of a problem, and larger properties do mean the maintenance, including drilled wells and septic fields and how to look after those. Really, there isn't a lot of public transit, you need a car. Overall, it's a great area for families that are looking for newer homes on bigger lots in a quieter place that's still not too far from city amenities. So if you want more of a city atmosphere with a lot going on, this area is not for you. All right, folks, we're at our top tier and what I'm going to call the Great Escape. This is perfect for anybody who wants to be out of the way on a quiet street, far from that hustle and bustle of city life. Out here, if you're waving to somebody from your deck or your porch, it's probably a deer, and that's just what some of us really do prefer. And of course, many of us know and love our neighbours in these communities as well. We just prefer not to live 10 feet apart and be able to see inside each other's windows when we're looking out. I've got two fantastic areas for you in this tier, and the first one we're going to cover is Upper Tantallon. This is a semi-rural suburban community around about 29 kilometres west of downtown Halifax. The area extends from Hammonds Plains Road that we talked about earlier to the crossroads of Trunk 3 and Route 333, giving it a really convenient location for people who want a mix of kind of rural charm and suburban convenience. Why are you going to love up at Tantallon? Well, it's the location, scenic and semi-rural with the settings there of large properties and natural beauty. Roughly 30-minute commute to downtown Halifax via the 103. There is a Metro X bus service that provides a direct transit route into Halifax. Pretty close to Peggy's Cove and South Shore beaches, which are amazing in summer. Good access to amenities because Hammonds Plains is not too far away, as well as Bedford and Bayers Lake on the way to Halifax. There is St Margaret's Centre, which has 2 ice rinks, a gym, a fitness centre, as well as those outdoor swimming pool. Then we have Tantallon Village Farmers Market, which gives you local produce and handmade goods. Great area for outdoor lovers, hiking, kayaking, cycling and fishing nearby. And the Exit 5 hub includes grocery stores, medical centres, as well as restaurants close by. And you also have access to the Rails to Trails, which is a very popular, fairly flat walking and cycling route. The homes are very spacious here on large lots, which is great for families as well as some of that privacy. A mix of entry-level, mid-range and luxury gives it affordable to basically a wide range of buyers, but the prices are competitive compared to central Halifax and Bedford. Entry homes, about 5 to 700,000. Mid-range, we're hitting 7 to 9, and then luxury, obviously $1 million and way up from there if you feel like it. The homes do retain their value, very strong resale here, and you can actually get vacant land so you can get some home builds. Now, what's going to make you think twice? The house prices there are rising and making it less affordable for the first-time home buyers. New developments are certainly going to increase the traffic, but are they going to change that rural feel of the area? Maybe. And again, you're going to have to drive to all the amenities and the things you want to do. Property maintenance, yeah, we're going to have a longer driveway here, so you're going to have to shovel that in the winter, as well as there's more grass to mow in the summer. And most of our properties here were on drilled wells and septic fields, and you've got to look after them again. Upper Tantallon is, though, a great choice for family and nature lovers, and people want that quieter, semi-rural lifestyle while staying commutable for Halifax. You're going to find a great amount of outdoor activities, spacious properties, but you're going to need a car. There's not a lot of entertainment and transit options. Not like basically Bedford or Sackville. My favourite area, Fall River. Going to be biased, I'll let you know, I live here. It is the perfect location. We're only 15 minutes from Halifax Stanfield International Airport and about 20 to 30 minutes to Halifax and Dartmouth. Access to 102 and 118 Halifax and Dartmouth give commuting to surrounding areas really quick access. We also have a ton of nature, lakes, forest and trails offering a peaceful environment. It's got a very strong outdoor recreation scene here because we have multiple lakes. Lake Thomas, Lake Fletcher, Miller Lake, Kinsack Lake, Grand Lake. All great for swimming, fishing, boating. 2 public beaches, one at Gordon Snow Rec Centre and also one at the Windsor Junction Community Centre, although that one you do actually have to be a member in the local community where you live. We have Laurie Park as well as Oakfield Provincial Park, which is going to give you those scenic spots for hiking as well as picnicking and dog walking. Very important there. And the trails are maintained so that you can go jogging, dog walking, exploring nature. 2 golf courses. We have Oakfield Golf Course as well as New Ashburn Golf Course. And then Gordon Snow opened in 2018, which has got the gymnasium. We have the fire station there, event rooms and a skate park. Grocery stores and local shopping options. There are a few things as well as some sit-down restaurants, including the Fourth Lock, which is our favourite. There is Good Day Kitchen and Cafe, and there's also Tim Hortons, of course. Very diverse housing options here. Single family homes, lakefront properties and large acre lots are available. Spacious homes with 3 to 5 bedrooms and large lots, which gives you that privacy. Very strong resale value. Fall River homes retain their value very well because of the demand for this suburban living. There's a good mix of modern and more established homes. Some properties are going to be new built, whereas others are in that 20 to 30 years and have that classic charm. New developments are in progress, offering fresh opportunities for home buyers. Prices here, we're really starting at about $550, $600 and going way up to there with an average price about $811. In particular, one of the new areas is the St Andrews Village West, and realistically it starts about $1 million for there, but they are gorgeous, amazing houses, and also where we have our QE2 lottery show home, about 1.6 million, but get a lottery ticket. So what's going to make you think twice? Well, we are far from the city's amenities. House prices are rising. The average price here is around about 811, so it's not really a first-time home buyer market necessarily. Desirable homes will often sell pretty quickly, so it's very competitive up here as well to find the right house, although it's changing a little bit. Again, like Upper Tantallon, septic and drilled wells, so most houses are not going to have municipal water and sewage. Going to have a longer driveway, so you're going to be shoveling and you're going to be cutting grass more as well. Fall River is a beautiful family-friendly community with a very strong outdoor lifestyle and spacious properties, but those higher home prices and fewer urban amenities means that it's definitely families and professionals who don't mind driving for work, shopping or entertainment. Lack of commercial development is part of what keeps Fall River so peaceful and private, but it is something to consider if you're used to having everything at your doorstep. As someone who loves wide open spaces and a quiet area, that's my ranking. But all of these areas of Halifax will have their pros and cons. So if one of these has caught your eye, be sure to check the video description to find the links to the videos dedicated to each individual area so you can learn a little bit more about the ones that are going to necessarily suit you. And if you've made it to this point of the video, there's a very good chance you are seriously thinking about buying or selling your home in the Halifax area. My team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice and help you guide through the transaction and the change that you're about to make. So you can just contact us at richard@richardpayne.ca or check out the information in the description down below for more ways to get hold of us. And before you go, if you found this helpful, you're definitely going to want to check out the next video. So I'll link it right up here. Cheers, and I will see you in the next one.